Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show, Red Pill Edition. I'm your host, Leon Jones, and today I want to get into the stages of MGTOW. Now, MGTOW is a very successful philosophy. It is not a movement. Many people get it mixed up with the feminist movement, like MGTOWs are on the opposite side of feminists. No. Feminism is based off of socialism, Marxism, and communism. It's about having a tyrannical government be the center of everybody's lives. And what comes out of feminism are movements like the Black Lives Movement, the LBGTQ movement. Code Pink is another movement. And you also have a lot of your professors, male and female, who are in college who preach feminism too, especially in their gender studies department. But when it comes to MGTOW, it's a philosophy. It stands for men going their own way. Now, I'm not at the MGTOW monk stage, but I am a red pill man. Because I believe as a man, the judicial system is not fair, especially when you've been a married man and you've had children. You see, a number of these women who are modern want it both ways. They want traditionalism that women got in the 50s, but they want modern feminism where they benefit. Well, a number of women must understand that you got your power from government. And it all started by the Great Society programs of the 1960s. You had Title IX. And if you look at it now, you talk about equality, a lot of women do not have to sign up for the draft, or we call it the selective service. Now, as a man, we do. And if we did not sign up for the selective service, we as men would not be able to get financial aid to go to school. And if you look at what's going on right now, you have colleges pushing women into STEM by offering scholarships for women who pursue STEM majors. I really don't want them in STEM majors because I was a STEM major myself. So as a man, what's that's going to do when it comes to trying to integrate women with men in the trades such as construction or the STEM majors? They're going to try to water it down. In other words, they're going to lower the standards. But as a real red pill man, you have to understand who you are. You can't let society define to you what a real man is. Now, if you are coming into the MGTOW philosophy for the first time, I'm going to suggest you listen to guys like Mr. Elite 00. Brand new YouTuber. He has about 113 subscribers. He's from Boise, Idaho. You got RPM, Thomas Lundy, Coach Greg Adams, E-Man67, C Boogie Productions. You also have a guy that will show you in his videos how delusional this modern woman is. You got to check out Undead Chronic. You also have to check out Solo Mission. And the funny thing about MGTOW is there are a lot of black men who are MGTOWs. I didn't know that myself. Every time I click on a video, I see more and more black men, and they're finding out that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. They're understanding the system isn't working. And see, when this modern day woman bases their arguments when it comes to issues, it's all systematic. Black men don't have jobs, black men are irresponsible. It's talking points that they have heard before from feminists. And a number of these feminists do not like men. They're misandrous. In fact, feminism is based off of lesbianism. Feminism also has created gay rights and gay marriage. You ever heard of a red pill man who's for gay marriage? No. So when it comes to being red pill, what I'm trying to tell you, or let me not say what I'm trying to tell you, what I am telling you is you must understand that to be a man in this society, the road is going to be tough. The road is going to be challenging. But it's going to be a lot tougher if you stay with this modernized system. As a man, you must do your own thing. You got to be a Sigma male. Be more of an observer. But getting back on topic, when it comes to MGTOW, individuals must understand there are 5 stages, like I said before. There is a denial. That's the first stage. And usually, when a man and a woman are together, we always believe that that relationship is guaranteed to stay together for as long as we live. But in reality, it doesn't happen. For the most part, women get bored easy because they know they have a way out, because the system allows this modern day woman to be irresponsible. So what this woman is going to do, she's going to go out, she's going to socialize with other men. Because a number of these modern day women are not loyal. Now, I'm not saying men don't lie, but I'm simply explaining to men that you may think you have a good woman that's lying in that bed next to you, but she's going to be heavily influenced by other women who are bitter, other women who are poor, rich, educated, non-educated, and women are marketed it based on their sexual market value by media. And when women see all these images, they believe that having a man to them is just a resource. But a number of men deny that. They deny that their man, that as a man, that their woman would never cheat. I tell men, when you're in that first stage, you got to take the blinders off, because it is what it is. Once she cheats, what are you going to do? You know the system isn't on your side. Now, of course, when you cheat or a woman cheats, you're going to become angry. And the reason why you're really going to become angry is because there's a formula or an acronym that I created called MEET. Now, MEET stands for money, energy, emotion, and time. And you are going to be angry because you invested all of yourself into this person and you didn't get a return on your investment. And you find out later on that the relationship that you had with this person was not cost effective. You get raped over the coals by the family court system. You get raped over the coals by movements that are also part of feminism, MeToo, and Time's Out. Men, you got to understand, when you invest your time in anything and it doesn't work out, you're going to get angry. But you must understand, when you have a woman, you don't own that woman. It's just your turn. Women initiate 73% of the divorces. The government allows women to be irresponsible. So, of course, when you invest your time into a woman, you think it's going to work out and it doesn't work out, you're going to be angry. But you have to find a way to direct that anger into something constructive. Now, when you get into the third stage of MGTOW, now you got to bargain. You're going to have to understand that the system is not your friend. In fact, the people who look like you, who run the system, male judges, they're going to be much harder on you than these female judges. You have a lot of simps in power. In fact, you're going to have to bargain that no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to change the system. It's not enough men to change the system. In fact, the number of men, we create our own demise by our nature. So you're going to have to understand that when you deal with women, of course, you're going to say not all women are like that. Well, that is true, but you have to understand female nature. This modern woman today is a succubus. She's filled with a lot of demons. Many of them have been around the block with a lot of men. Many of them made poor decisions and they became single mothers. Many of them will tell you how educated they are. Well, they're only educated by what the system allows them to have as far as education is concerned. They only know what they studied in school. Many of these modern day women are not very educated when it comes to the real world. So what you have to do when you get to the bargaining stage, you have to get with this MGTOW philosophy, because just like Brother Ringo TV Raw said, the road is going to end at MGTOW for all men, even as simps. They just don't know it yet. And what you need to do, if you really want to bargain with the system, create a platform, put up YouTube videos, and try to listen to these other experiences by MGTOWs who've gone through the same issues when it comes to relationships and money and workplace politics. Because see, if you have individuals with like minds, like thinking man's Templar, they're going to put you at ease. Listen to my videos, because I'm going to give you this insight from my perspective on how to get through your trials and tribulations. One thing you don't want to do is commit suicide. And when you get into that depression stage, which is the fourth stage, there's some men who believe that they can't deal with life anymore. They become lonely. They become depressed. And when you get to that stage, you're going to get desperate. Temptation to get yourself back out in the dating scene, to meet a woman because you probably hadn't thought about sex in a while, is going to come into your mind. And you know, dealing with today's society, there are a lot of partners who are awful. And you must understand, when you make an improper decision, you can find yourself in jail from the accusation of rape. You can find yourself knocking some woman up, paying 18 to 20 years of child support. You could find yourself in court for an accusation of domestic violence, of rape. You have to put all these things out in front of you, and you have to see them. Because the thing about depression can lead to suicidal thoughts, can also lead to bad decisions. But once you understand everything that's evolving with denial, anger, bargaining, and depression, now you just have to accept that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. And once you put yourself in that mindset, it's much easier for you to go your own way. And the road won't be as hard because you will have support. And again, when it comes to MGTOW, IBMOR, SYSBM, it is a philosophy. And it's a philosophy about men utilizing the tools that God gave them to promote themselves in society of being not only responsible and accountable, but fulfilling your own prophecies, your own potentials. Because right now, in Western society, men are basically used as a tool, your resource. Now, I am not saying I hate women. I love women. But I understand the female nature. Understand that you can't argue with them. And this modern day woman, she believes in feminism. There was a comment left, and a shout out to another guy. I believe I mentioned his name. If I didn't, his name is WZ Rubicon. He's a 58-year-old Caucasian man. He speaks the truth as well. I'm one of his subscribers. But there was a woman who came on his page, or it was another brother's page. His name had vampire in it. I can't remember it right off the bat. But she said, "We are now in charge." I believe the woman's name was Carly. She said, "We are now in charge. We don't need you anymore." And I could tell you right off the bat that that was a lie. Because all of us men out here who are working, we put most of the money into the system but get nothing out of it. The women get everything out of the system. And the funny thing about being independent and accepting the red pill is you have to be an all-around man now. Like, I'll tell you my situation. I served 17 years in the Navy. I got more degrees than a thermometer. I got 2 master's degrees, one in civil engineering, one in critical infrastructure systems. Got another undergraduate bachelor's degree in civil engineering. I'm working on another one in HVAC engineering technology and energy management. I have 4 associates, one in science, one in business, one in mathematics, and one in engineering. But I also have a CDL, so I can get out there and do truck driving. I can cook. I know how to do wiring. I know how to work on a car. So when you've accepted the red pill and you have skills, the road is going to be less traveled. You will have your support. But you don't have to depend on a system to give you peace. All you have to do is depend on yourself. Now, if you believe in God, that's fine. I do believe in God. But you don't have to worry about trying to impress somebody who doesn't care about you. You don't have to worry about Valentine's Day. You don't have to worry about Christmas. You see, all these holidays are marketed for women. Women are consumers. And this is why the system is the way it is. This modern day woman does not manage money. And if you're going on some of these dating sites, there's basically 5 or 6 items that I see from women of all ages. They like shopping, concerts, theater, traveling. They like movies. They like shopping. And they're in church, particularly the black women. Now, I'll look at all those items and I will find that it costs a lot of money to fund those items. Well, you as a man don't want to be part of that, because you're going to be the one spending that money on a woman, and she's not going to be worth your time. See, a number of these women will brag about how much education they have, how big their house is, how nice their car is, but they have a lot of debt. And they also don't have any ownership over their cars or their houses. The bank owns their house and their car. And that's one thing that I've accepted as a red pill man. The only thing that I don't own is I rent an apartment. I live here in Portage, Indiana, which is outside of Gary, Indiana, and Chicago, but I love it here. Came here from Pennsylvania. But I can say I own something. My cars aren't brand new, but they're mine. Nobody can come and take them away from me. Can't say that for some of these women out here who think they're large in the charge because they have a job. You can lose your job at any moment's notice. But as a red pill man, you must accept that you got to go at it alone. You got to be a Sigma male. You got to be a lone wolf. Days are going to be long and hard for some of you, but if you listen to a lot of the teachings here on YouTube, you'll get through it. But it's got to be a mindset. Nothing in the world that you go through is going to be easy, no matter what color you are, if you're a man. Because we can talk about white supremacy, we can talk about what goes on in the black community every day, but a man is a man, and we're all going through the same issues, especially if you're a working man. Because the people who look like us, who are men, your politicians, your judges, aren't for us. In fact, they're feminists themselves, because the feminists are voting blocks for them. This is why, if you're red pill, you can never go into politics, because your philosophy is going to be totally different from the simps who are running this country. Obama was a big simp. He said on Father's Day that fathers need to stay with their babies' mothers. Well, all fathers don't leave. Some of the babies' mothers leave. But he didn't go on Mother's Day and tell these mothers to do the same thing. No, because he wasn't for men. And to me, the traitorous men have really made it hard on men. Because these men, to whom I call simps, cucks, manginas, white knights, eunuchs, they're looking for female validation because they think like females. We all came from a female, but many of these guys didn't have a positive role model as a man in their life, so they don't understand what it is to be a man. And I think some of these simps, they need to come over to the red pill where real men are and understand that if you cross one of these feminazis out here, they're going to throw you under the bus as well. And when you get thrown under the bus, people like me aren't going to help you. Why? Because you're a traitor. You're part of the problem. So to wrap this up, at the end of the day, there are 5 stages of MGTOW. Start with denial, then there's anger, there's bargaining, there's depression, and of course there's acceptance. So I hope that's summed everything up for you with regards to MGTOW, because there are a number of individuals who don't understand the philosophy. Again, as a man, there are plenty of men on these platforms who will give you good insight about the MGTOW philosophy. All you have to do is take time out of your day and listen, because the content, it is worth the squeeze. Because at the end of the day, as a man, I want peace, not war. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. If you like what you heard, please comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, my name is Leon Jones. I'm out.